All right. Next we've got Kris Lindsay, but I was going to say a couple things about before that. How many of you know that we have a Ladies of the Gun Rights Coalition group? Hopefully the ladies in the stands here know that. If not, I'd like you to look it up. I'd like you to participate. Kris Lindsay here is going to speak to us, but she is representing the Ladies of the Gun Rights Coalition. And like myself, she's somebody that's new, volunteered to step up and start getting to work. So I'd like to turn the time over to her, give her a few minutes.
Thank you. Had a lot of really powerful speakers here today. It's been great. It's nice to see all the ladies in the group. Way to represent. We are the largest growing demographic in the gun industry right now. I consider myself Joe Normal. I don't go out and speak to people. Yeah, I speak to my neighbors, my friends, but I don't get up in front of people, so I'm a little uncomfortable. I live in Thurston County, kind of off in a corner where the response time maybe isn't optimal. I read an article in the Olympian recently. They had interviewed Sheriff Snazza, and the average response time for the police to get to your house is 11 minutes. That's an average. 11 minutes, I want you to think about that. What can happen in 11 minutes? Now, I am that single mom raising two beautiful, young women. My oldest daughter just turned 21. My youngest is a senior in high school. What could happen to them if I'm not able to protect them? I've been called a lot of things in my life. Some of them are good, some not so flattering on occasion. But there's one label that I will not accept, and that label is victim. I won't be a victim. It's my job to make sure that my family is safe, whether it's at home or out on the street. All of these crime sprees that have been happening, they're in movie theaters, they're in schools, they're in malls. All of these places have one thing in common, and that's that they're a gun-free zone. You might as well just put a target on your back. You're walking into that place, they already know that you're not armed. I don't shop at a lot of places specifically because of that reason. I don't go to Target, for instance. If I see a sign on the front of the door that says that it's a gun-free zone, you're not getting my business. You're not getting my business. I don't watch the news because, I think it's BS. But, like everybody else, I get a lot of my information off of Facebook. And I saw recently that Obama spoke for his last time in front of the UN. And he said, yeah! And he said that the United States, that we need to give up some of our freedom to become a member of that global society, that we need to submit and fall under that UN. Hillary Clinton just said that there are too many guns in the United States. There's just too many. Yet they try to tell us that they're not coming after our guns.
There's not too many Hillary in the United States.
There's too many Clintons. Too many Clintons. Donald Trump asked Hillary, if she is such a strong gun control supporter, why doesn't she disarm her Secret Service?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me, How do you think the media responded to that? Gasp,
Are you trying to get her killed?
You're calling for her assassination. We can't do that. What do they think they're doing to the U.S. citizens by asking for us to be disarmed? They're pretty much asking for a genocide, because what's going to happen? You give control, they're going to take it. Yeah, they're going to take it. You know, there's a lot of harebrained ideas out there. You know, if a woman has a gun, it's going to be turned against her. You know, they want to keep us weak. And you know, I'm not a feminist. I think it's been turned into a dirty word, kind of like common sense. I don't like to admit that I'm weaker, but I'm sorry, it's just the fact. You know, we may want equality, but that's not going to give us the ability to stand up to someone that's bigger or stronger. A gun is an equalizer. It's going to put us on equal ground. It's going to give us the ability to stop that person and protect ourselves and our families. And that's, you know, that's the message that we need to get out there. You got groups like Mom Demands Action. I've got some actions for them. I don't understand where these people are coming from. They want us to remain helpless victims. You know, they think that you put up more no gun signs, that restraining order is going to protect you. That piece of paper is going to stop whatever aggression is coming at you. You know, I just keep going back to that 11 minutes. If somebody comes into my house and they have intent to do harm to myself or my children, my elderly parents that recently moved in, they're not, you know, incapable as of yet, but eventually, that still falls on me to make sure that my children know how to protect themselves. If I'm not around, they need to know how to protect themselves. It's my job to make sure that they're informed. My youngest daughter's a senior in high school, and she came to me a couple of days ago. This was actually pretty encouraging. She said, we have to put the first 10 amendments into our own words. A lot of schools aren't even really teaching that, or they're warping the meaning of some of them, but she knows how I feel. I'm not quiet about it. You know, so she came to me, how do I put these into my own words? So I helped her with that, and I was really happy that at least in some of the rural communities, that they're still teaching that. I went to a CERT meeting. I live in a little community out in Yelm. They had spoken to the Thurston County about if there was, say, a large natural disaster or something, you know, what are we going to be able to get help out in that area? And they were told that it would take a long time for help to get to us, if at all. You know, if we were cut off, people couldn't get food, you know, they were struggling. It's just the nature of the beast. People are going to start turning on each other. It's just a sad reality. If their family's hungry, they're going to want to take what you got. So I take it very seriously that I am my own first responder. Thank you.